Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you for joining me today. We're going to have some conversation around a very simple idea that you may resist completely. Sounds like this entire course, doesn't it? Yeah. Very simple ideas that we're prone to overlook and resist. Expect resistance to the idea that salvation is either total or it's not at all. Our forgiveness is either total or it's not at all. I know. Very simple statement. It's all or nothing. Hmm. We're really fond of wanting that to be true in the world. Think about our relationships with people. Think about our business endeavors. We would really like this to be true, yet we encounter in the world all sorts of flux and suffering and gray areas. Well, this is very simple. Forgiveness is either total or it's not at all. Salvation, liberation is either complete or not at all. Simple. It makes sense. Yet we need to repeat this and all of the other ideas here in A Course in Miracles, which is not contrary to popular belief, very complex at all. It's not. The ideas themselves are simple. We don't find it easy to put them into practice because we're so conditioned and so prone to overlook the patently simple in life. We tell ourselves some form of this statement that it's got to be more complicated than that. Oh no, it can't be. No, it can't be like that. It's got to be more complicated than that. Jesus, who dictated this course, can't have meant what he said expressly. He can't. No way. Mm-mm. He can't possibly have meant that. He must have meant this instead. And we go off and we fantasize about what we think Jesus meant by a very simple statement that forgiveness is either total or it's not at all. Here's what this means for us in practical terms, and where at least a large part of the resistance is going to come from. We're so conditioned to think we're something we're not, i.e., an individual human being. Double take, you heard that right. We're so conditioned to think that we're something that we are not, i.e., an individual human being. We're not a collective human being either. This, the physical body, is not you. The name human being, Homo sapiens, sapiens, is just a made up term. And yes, there appear to be 8 billion plus of us running around on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yet you're on the spiritual path because you know there's more to it than that. Well, welcome to A Course in Miracles. You're not a body, and you have always known. Really, there's more to it than simply meeting the needs of this physical organism for food and water and going to the bathroom and clothing and shelter and all of that stuff. Yeah, there's way more to it than that. So we're not so inclined to want to put this very simple idea into practice. We make it hard for ourselves because of our conditioning. The idea is simple. Forgiveness is either total or it is not at all. So here's what this means practically. We still want to blame people for our plight, don't we? We still want to blame others for our lot in life, people that hold this illusory thing called power, like politicians, like a government, like a global socioeconomic system rife with total egoic inequality, obviously. Yeah, all of that. We think that we're at the mercy of these forces that appear to be outside of us. And we're going to be very resistant to the truth that they're not outside you. There is nothing outside you. Our mind made this all up. It's all a projection of our mind. What do we do while we appear to be here? Well, that's a very good question. Forgive. Practice this course, and we practice true forgiveness as it's presented and taught to us here in this course, where we learn under the guidance of our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, to see things as they are, not the way that we have made them, which is not the way they are. So, in a way, we're undoing our own clouds of guilt. The beauty of this is we don't do it. The Holy Spirit does it. All we offer Him is our little willingness to show up and forgive. Give Him everything, including the physical body. Put the physical body to good use here as a tool in the service of the Holy Spirit, in the service of healing the mind. Do that rather than continue to use it as a point of separation, as a power play, as a means for attack and division. See, we run into all kinds of resistance in our own mind because we want to still blame. We want to still blame our boss. We want to blame some power structure, whether it's a corporate power structure or a private power structure, a government power structure. We want to blame our ex. We want to blame our parents. We want to blame somebody on the other side of the world for pulling all these economic strings that appear to have some sort of mystical, magical power over us. We want to blame someone else for our own emotions, for our own experience, for our own guilt and our own rage. We project it onto them. We can't stand it ourselves, so we attempt to get rid of it. Here's where we go wrong. That's exactly where we go wrong. Attempting to get rid of it only serves to keep it in our mind. What you give away, you keep. You're not out these thoughts, these are ideas. This course doesn't talk about physical objects like money or a shirt. If you give that away, sure, someone else has it. Yeah, this is talking about mind, the level of mind. We're talking about ideas. What happens to an idea when it's shared? It is strengthened, it grows. Give away hatred, guilt, rage, blame, and fear. It grows. Now, on the other hand, give away love, forgiveness, joy. That grows. It strengthens in our mind. So we cannot continue to blame and expect enlightenment awakening, liberation, whatever you want to call it, we can't expect to awaken while we're still holding out some little special forms of hatred for this political party. For example, for our ex, for someone else's ex, who apparently did something to our friend, or maybe they did, and maybe it's not very nice. But if we're withholding forgiveness, we're withholding awakening from ourselves. We can't forgive 99.9% of the population of wobbling, spinning ball of rock and omit that little bit, those others. Even if it's only one other, that is not total 100% feeling the resistance yet. I'll bet you are. It's normal. Nothing wrong with you on that. You're not doing this course wrong if you experience resistance. Expect it. Know, however, that it is the ego that resists. The Holy Spirit offers no resistance. There is nothing to resist. The ego is an illusion, as well as the physical body and the world itself. So, what do you do while you appear to be here? Well, make use of this device. Make use of it. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. Keep it healthy. There are people out there that you can relate to and reach better than I can. In fact, they're meant to work with you. So, would you leave them wallowing in their own misery and suffering, or would you share the Holy Spirit with them? Would you share the love of our inner teacher with them instead? Exactly. These ideas that we see here do hit home for us. You may experience resistance to them today, but you may well have experienced a sense of relief at another point, at another time, upon hearing just such an idea as salvation's either total or it's not at all. You're not a body, etc. So we find, as adult learners, stubborn adult learners, that we need to return to these ideas over and over again. And we do. Of course we do. Hence the repetition of this course, which is well over 1,000 pages when you put together all of the component parts, says the same few things over and over again in different words because they'll land differently today than they may have landed yesterday. Huh. All right. Well, the invitation is always there for us to give our entire experience over to the Holy Spirit. It's this little willingness to do that, to exchange illusion for truth in our mind, this little willingness, however fleeting, even if it's only for a fraction of a second, that's enough. In fact, it's more than enough. That's all the Holy Spirit needs because He's total. Give Him, give it, give them. Pick your pronoun. Doesn't matter. The Holy Spirit's not a guy. It's not a woman. It's not a dude. It's part of our mind. Give it even just a little fraction of a second. And if you can give that, you could surely give another fraction of a second. Let him rush in and do the rest. He awaits our invitation. So will you give him that today? It would be very kind of you to do that and see where you're directed. All right. So, the course says what it says, means what it says, and there's no way that we could ever expect the entire planet to love it, to fall in love with it. to fall in love with the reality and to accept gladly that there is no world. Everything that we've predicated all of our economic systems, our lives, our relationships on is a transitory illusion. Hmm, same. And you know that's true. So if you're not jumping out of your seat to rush out and practice this, I get it. I do. That's why you don't see billions of people doing the course. And if somebody else in your life, including a friend or family member, somebody that you care about deeply, is not interested in this and thinks you're nuts, so what? I mean, really, that's all right. Who hasn't experienced that? I've got members of my own family that think I'm an absolute lunatic. And you know what? They thought that before the course, too. So why should it matter, right? What matters is you're here right now. What matters is what you've heard over the past few minutes from the Holy Spirit. So take that message, whatever that may have been for you, and pay attention to it and put it into practice. This is where we learn the best, by doing it. So I invite you to join me here. Please subscribe if you have not. That's the prompt in the corner of your screen. To click that icon, join us. And questions are always more than welcome. So if you've got them, please feel welcome to leave them here. I would be happy to answer them for you as best I can. Okay? Thank you, as always, for joining me. I'll see you soon.